Hello and welcome to Go Download It, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest apps. Today we are joined by Daniel and Margarita. Roll the titles. So, Margarita, what's your first game today?
Okay, my first game is called Sonic Dash, and it's basically based entirely on Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it's probably made by Sega.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but it looks like it, and it's basically like exactly how Sonic
And does
is.
it say Sega at the beginning? That's probably a good...
That's the big giveaway, yeah.
It does, yes.
Right,
Yeah.
So yes,
so it's made by Sega.
It's a temple run style game. So you're running through all the courses, and you have to jump over obstacles and kill the enemies and collect rings, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And
Sonic,
Yeah.
what else are you going to do?
what else are you gonna collect? So
Yeah. Fish, yeah, collect fish, why not?
I didn't know
Does Sonic like fish?
Hodge eggs.
Hodge eggs.
I don't know hedgehogs eat fish. But
Could be
anyway,
a secret diet or something.
Yeah, secret eaters. New episodes, Hodge eggs eating fish.
Animal special.
but
Okay.
yeah. Okay. At the end of each stage, you have to defeat a boss.
Okay.
And it's basically based on Sonic Lost Worlds, where all the bosses are the same as the ones in Lost World. So, yeah, every time you finish a stage, a boss comes along, you have to defeat him. And
So how do you fight the bosses? Because if it's
It's-
a temple run style game, I guess it's like you
it
have
changes,
paths
like
and
from
stuff.
being behind Sonic, it changes to being to the side, and you have to basically fight them in the same way you would in Lost World.
Oh, okay, that's
So,
kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it's like a really, really condensed version of it, but
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah,
Lost
so
World's
far,
better.
I don't think I played Lost World.
Neither have I,
It's,
actually.
it's really good. I really liked it myself, but
No, I've not played. I think I've seen trailers for it and stuff before.
Yeah,
but
it's a good game, and yeah. So if you're a big Sonic fan, then this is a good game to get. It does have adverts. If
Okay.
you fail a stage or something, you try and go and do another stage, a big advert will come up,
Buy this.
Okay, yeah.
basically, and then
You
you have
lose by this. You suck.
you suck at this. Why not suck at this? Yeah, you have to exit it, but that's the only real adverts it is. The game itself is free.
Okay.
And although I've got to say, the last time I played it, it was very laggy.
Right.
I'm not sure if it was the app itself or just my tablet, or I
Okay.
don't know what it was, but it was just extremely laggy.
Right.
Well, that's not
But
good.
See, I'll fix that
every
soon,
single
then.
time I played it before, it's been fine.
Oh, okay.
So I think that
So
might
hopefully
have
it's
been
not
a
like a
one-off
major issue.
thing, but it's something to take note of just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a free game, it's really good. It's like basically just playing a mini Sonic game.
Yeah, that sounds
So-
awesome.
Any questions?
That was a long pause.
Yeah, it was a bit, wasn't it?
Slightly awkward.
What operating systems is it on?
I'm pretty sure it's on iOS and Android,
Oh,
Okay.
okay, cool.
All right.
so
Okay. thank
everyone
you.
can play.
What's it called again? Sorry.
Sonic Dash.
Sonic Dash.
Sonic Dash. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
Daniel, what's your first game today?
Okay, my first one is an iOS exclusive at the moment. I don't know if they have any plans to release it on Android, but it's just iOS for now. It's called Noon, and it's by Fallen Tree Games. It's a fairly new game. It's a really, really stupidly simple game, like ridiculously stupidly simple, but it gets so addictive. So bear with me, because if you play it for more than 5 minutes, you will be hooked, guaranteed. So it starts out, and I love the way it starts out. The aim of the game is you have a clock on the screen with just one out hand, and it goes all the way around and all the way around, and then you have to hit it when it gets right on the 12. And it keeps going round, and then if it
Hence
goes,
noon.
yeah, hence noon. If it goes round 4 times, you lose a life, and you have, well, not a life, sorry, you have to start the whole game again. But there, eventually, when you hit a certain point mark, I think it's 12 points, you'll have 4 clocks on screen at once, all going
God.
at different speeds.
So the number of clocks increase as it goes
Yeah,
on.
it's
Oh,
up
wow.
to 4. I think the max is 4. Well, as far as I've gotten.
Okay.
And that's at 12 points. But even to get to 12, 13 points, it's taken me a fair while. So, yeah,
A lot
it's
of
very
train journeys
frustrating.
just playing.
Yeah, exactly. Sitting there just trying not to break my phone. But yeah, it's really difficult because all the clocks travel at different speeds. That you can't get into a rhythm of it. It's not like you can just start going because they all change every time you hit one. It changes speed and all that sort of stuff. It's really, really, really hard. So if you either miss noon or it gets round 4 times, then it's game over and you start again. But the way it starts, I think, is just brilliant. It's just so simple, but I love it, and I don't know why. But it doesn't have like a menu which says like, oh, start game options, all that stuff. It does have those buttons in the corner, but the game starts by literally just you starting the game. There's a clock in the middle, which is constantly going round until you hit it at the 12 o'clock, and then the game just starts.
Oh, cool.
That's
So there's
really
not
cool.
loads of like splash screens beforehand saying, you know, all the
you just
5,000 people
kinda
that went
get straight
into
into it,
making the
kind
game
of
or whatever.
No
Yeah.
boring story.
Yeah, exactly. And it is.
straight
That's
in.
it. Exactly.
That's what you
It's
want
just-
from an app game, really.
Precisely.
Just to get straight into it and play it. You
It's
know?
just, it is what it is. It doesn't
Yeah.
try and be anything else. But yeah, it's one of those games where you can probably play it for like 30 seconds, play 1 or 2 rounds, and just be like, oh, that sucks. But if you do give it like more than 5 minutes, you will be absolutely hooked, because it is just ridiculous how challenging it is and how frustrating it is. So, I mean, the sessions of play are very short. Like a good long session of play would be about maybe 30 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
But then
fair enough,
that's the
yeah.
thing, it's 30 seconds, and then you're like, no, I can do better than that. And then it's another 30 seconds, you're like, no, that sucked as well. I can do better than that. So you just keep going and going and going. So it is really, really, really good and really addictive. In terms of visuals, it's really nice as well, because it's such a simple game, it doesn't require a lot of visuals. But I think it's nice the way they've done it, because I think they've done it to help in the frustration of the game. Rather than make it all loud and like in your face and whoop, whoop, you got this wrong and you suck. It's very like calm and placid, and there's a lot of like nice, you know,
You're wrong.
even blues
Try
and pastel
again.
colours. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
do it.
Sorry, buddy. You know.
What was that?
It's off.
Yeah.
Breaking their head or something.
No, let's not. But yeah, like the soundtrack is done that way as well. It's got this really nice, like, soothing soundtrack, and there's some really nice kind of particle effects and stuff when you lose, so you don't feel too bad about losing. It's still
Mention
frustrating as
sparkles.
hell. Yeah, yeah, sparkles, glitter.
You almost want to lose just to get that.
Yeah, exactly. Just so you can have the good feeling of, thanks. But it's, yeah, at the moment it is only available on iOS, but there is a clone on Android
right.
at the
Okay.
moment that someone's got out really quickly. I had a look at the store, and they've got other games which are all clones of
Okay.
other games. So
Us Android users have to use the clones
yeah, you have
for
to use
now.
the clone, which isn't as nice. It's not as polished, I'll be fair, from what I've seen of it. And I haven't actually played it, but it's probably exactly the same. It's such a
Yeah.
simple game. But yeah, I mean, the original at the moment is only on Android, or only on iOS, sorry, not on Android. There's only a clone on Android. But the game is completely free. Minimal adverts.
Yay!
Absolutely minimal adverts, which is really, really nice. Occasionally they will pop up, but they're easy to get rid of, and they don't sort of pop up right in the middle when you're playing and stuff like that.
That
so,
would be annoying.
yeah, just a little. When, you know, you've got a game where you're trying to focus on 4 clocks, and it's like, buy this, please. No, not right now.
You're about to press one of the clocks and it just
Yeah, it
pops
just
up,
pops up, and it's like,
God
oh no, now I've bought that. Oh.
Bought a £40
Yeah,
sign.
exactly. Yeah, you bought 40 million coins. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much, it's really, really simple game, but unbelievably addictive for what it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, thank you, Dan. So, Margarita, what's your second game today?
My second game is called TwoDots.
2 dots.
2 dots. Not 1 dot, but 2.
No, two
No.
dots. 2 dots, one word.
Two dots.
Oh, that's
one
that.
word.
Ooh,
Ooh. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Okay.
Moving on.
And this game
It's
is?
basically a puzzle game,
Uh-huh.
and you have a big grid,
Right.
and you have to collect.
There.
You have to connect all the dots. It's not just 2 dots. You have to connect.
All this about 2 dots,
that-
one word, and there's not even 2
Well,
dots.
the
Go on.
minimal number of dots you can connect is 2, so you
Ah,
can just
okay.
connect 2 dots together.
Right.
But you have to. In the corner, you have like all different colours, and it says how many of those colours you need to get.
Ah,
So it says
okay.
like 15 pink, 15 blue, 15 orange, 15 red.
Right.
And you have to connect as many dots as you can, because they're all like, some of them are loads of them are together, so you can connect loads.
Okay.
And basically clear the board to the number of moves you have.
That sounds like
Ah.
Candy Crush.
It's
But like with,
similar
with dots.
It's similar to Candy Crush,
Yeah.
but with dots.
Yeah.
But you can connect like 10 dots if they're there, and you can just like, if they're all next to each other.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't go diagonal, but you can
Oh,
go
right, but
vertically
you
or
can go straight
horizontally.
lines.
Right.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and you basically have to just collect all the dots that it says to get. Like, the board never clears, but you just have to get all the ones that they say you have to get. And it progressively gets harder, all different methods you can use, more dots with less moves.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty addictive. You can get hooked on it because you just sit there like, oh, I want to click more dots. it's weirdly therapeutic in a way. Just funny because Candy Crush is kind of very loud in your face with
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
colours
that's
and
true,
stuff.
yeah.
With this, it's just like kind of a blank grey board with nice little coloured dots. So it's
Oh,
like
that's
visually,
nice, yeah.
it's much nicer.
Do you get that optical illusion where like you look at one thing, you see a lot of different dots around it?
Oh, yeah, I know what
yeah.
you mean, yeah.
Like that one with the black X with the pink
Oh yeah,
colour.
yeah,
That's
that's it.
weird.
Yeah, that one's strange.
That's very strange. But no, luckily there's no mind tricks like that.
Okay,
It's,
good.
it's
Yeah.
just dots. What you see is actually there.
Simply dots. Okay.
Just simply dots.
Yeah.
Candy Crush dots.
So what kind of visuals? I assume it's pretty basic
It's
if it's
very
called dots.
Yes, and it gives you a nice little tutorial as well.
Okay.
So it's like I said before, it's background's just plain grey with just the dots and the
Mm.
little grid. Sometimes the grids are different shapes. You know, all different
Ooh.
shapes, like
Mixing it
X
up.
shape or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it gives a bit more of a challenge to it.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something. I forgot. But yeah.
Okay, moving on. So free, paid, adverts?
Free with
Free
adverts.
with adverts. Oh.
Free. There is some in-app purchases, but I don't think they're that important to your
No.
gameplay,
Oh, okay,
really. Like,
okay.
it's probably just
That just means to get more
power-ups
More
and
dots.
stuff. Yeah,
dots.
more dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
but
lives.
the adverts aren't that invasive. To be honest, I don't even remember seeing an advert there.
Oh, right. Well, they can't
So
be
them,
very...
they are there somewhere. But
somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find them if you
I
dig
haven't
deep
seen
enough.
them. When I got the really hard level, about to do the last move. Hey, buy this.
Yeah.
Mate, no.
No, get away.
So 2 dots, one. No, is it 2 dots or 2 dots, one word, or
No,
No,
two
it's
dots
two
as
dots
one word.
as one word, but it's more than two
Oh,
dots.
right, I thought-
It's
I
not
thought
just
it
two
was
It's not
dots.
just two dots. It's quite misleading in that sense.
Hey, you made it misleading.
Yeah.
You said 2 dots, one word.
Okay. I will take responsibility.
Yeah, this is all your fault, Mark.
I'm sorry.
How could you?
I
What have
sincerely
you done?
apologise for this. But yeah, it's called 2 dots, and you can collect more than 2 dots.
Okay.
Okay. I think I've
And
dealt
then
with
collect
it now.
all the dots.
No, I think I've dealt with it. I think I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. I think I'll live.
Okay. Go download it. And right, Daniel, what's your second game?
My second game is called Rebuild. And you pretty much do what it says in the title. It's a
Okay.
town management sim, kind of. So rather than building up a town, it's a zombie-infested town. You're in the zombie apocalypse, which is always
Oh,
fun.
I've heard of this game.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, yeah, I've heard of this.
There's actually a new one coming out on Steam. I think it's in early access beta at the moment, Rebuild
Okay.
3, because it was originally a web browser game. But this is basically the same as the web browser game, if anyone's ever played that before, with a few bits and extras included. So yeah, you're in the zombie apocalypse. And you have to send out. You have your group of survivors, and you have to send out. And you have a certain area of the town that you've already recaptured. So your aim is to go and scout out other buildings, get rid of the zombies, collect resources from them, collect any survivors, and then reclaim the rest of the town.
Right.
And then somewhere in the town, because there's a fog of war over the rest of the town, is the town hall. And the main ending, although there are multiple endings, the main ending is to reclaim the town hall and build a new constitution on which you can base your new society on. But there's lots of twists and turns along the way, and it's turn-based. Yeah, of course. It's turn-based, so you kind of select what you want everyone to do for that move, and then it'll tell you how many days it'll take for that job, and then you've got people who are more experienced at certain things, so jobs will be quicker if you use those, and so on and so forth. And each one has different specializations, like soldier, handyman, or whatever. And there's stuff like rival gangs, and you get some unique NPCs that come and visit your town, and you can change the story slightly. But one of my favorite things about this game, actually, and I don't know, it's something to do with introductions and me. I like a nice introduction to a game. But the way it's set up is the whole game is kind of presented as a diary entry from the perspective of your character.
Nice.
And the way you set the game up at the start is it's one of these diary entries and it's all written out, but you fill in the blank spaces to kind of decide on the settings and stuff.
So do you have multiple things you can put in them?
Yeah, so
you
I
can
mean,
change it
obviously,
however you want.
yeah,
kind of
you can
thing.
change
Oh,
it.
okay.
So you've got, your name is obviously the first thing you put in. I called myself Bubble Nubs. Why not? I just thought it'd be funny to pop up.
mean?
I don't know.
Bubble Nubs.
What does it not mean?
Can be anything you want it to be.
I don't know. What does it say about me? Let's not go into it. So anyway, Bubble Nubs. But then you'll get other stuff like you can decide whether it's set in the spring or the winter. Obviously, the winter mode is a little bit harder. It's like an extra challenge mode for the mobile version. And it just sets up lots of other things, like you start out with a helpful item. You can decide which one of those you start out with, and lots of other different things. But it's just a really nice way to set up the game, because it kind of makes you feel a bit more involved in it, and oh, this is my diary, and I'm filling it in, and, this is my experience. So I don't know, I really thought it was a really nice way of setting the game up. The art style's quite simple. It's pretty much what you'd expect. It's like an isometric view, sort of top-down kind of thing. Not particularly complicated, fairly basic, but Still really cool. The characters, again, like they're quite simple, like NPCs. They've all got the same kind of body with different clothes, and there's a few different hairstyles and glasses and stuff you can go into. So at least there's some kind of customization. It's not massive, but it's...
You've got a lot of thought into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's only built by one person, Sarah
wow.
Northway. She's an indie developer.
That is impressive.
Yeah, it's not bad. Huh? So yeah, she kind of built this series up right from the start. So yeah, she's done an amazing job considering it's just, pretty much. I mean, I think she's had help for other things like some art assets and sound. And I'm not actually sure how much of it she built herself, but a fair amount of it is her. So.
Do you know how long the game took to make? Or?
I don't have a clue actually. I'm not entirely sure. But again, I'm guessing the one on mobile was a little easier because she'd done the browser one previously. I think she'd done two previous browser ones, so she was able to just adapt that and add a few bits more to it. But she normally works with her husband. They're both like these traveling indie developers.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's really sweet. They've like lived in about 50 different
Life
places
goals.
across the world. Yeah. But they don't often work together actually. But this one was pretty much mostly on her own. But you can get it on freaking everything. It's on iOS, it's on Android, it's on Kindle Fire, and on BlackBerry Playbook.
Oh wow!
So it's pretty widely available.
That's retro.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a little bit.
What?
Yeah, a who what book? It's $1.99, I think, on all of those platforms. But again,
no in-app purchases.
I
Don't say there are.
I don't think there are actually. I think it might just be the game as it is, and you don't buy anything, and it's just you spend your $1.99 and you've got the game.
And no adverts, I hope.
Yeah, no ads either. No ads. Yeah, because it's a paid app, so there hasn't been any ads added into it, which is nice. But yeah, available on absolutely everything, so no excuses. You have to download it now and support Sarah Northway because she did it all on her own.
Girl power.
Yeah, it's just on everything. So yeah, go download it. Really, go download it. It's a really good game. Rebuild. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for watching this episode of Go Download It. If you missed the last video, you can catch it here.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter. Bye.
Bye.